What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show. Senator Bernie Sanders and a whole bunch of Democrats, and led by Senator Bernie Sanders, has done it. Senator Bernie Sanders has officially introduced the Social Security Expansion Act of 2023. You can see the actual bill here for 2023 with changes and details. You can Google the details if you want to see it here. Payroll taxes and I'll let you see a video here of what he says here about this here in a second. You can see here Senator Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren's plan would tax the rich to increase Social Security benefits by $2,400 per year. And not only that, it would actually keep Social Security alive for another 75 years. And this actually has, I think it's around 200 co sponsors from the Democrats and independents in Congress. So this actually is very close to passing. It would only need a few Republican votes in Congress. So there's 51 senators that are Democrats right now or independents. So they would need like 9 Republicans in the Senate to say yes to it, and a few Republicans in the House as well. I don't know, maybe 10 or so out of the 200 and some there to get one over the 50% plus one threshold. So they really wouldn't need that many Republican votes here. And remember that this would actually extend the Social Security solvency by 75 years. So here's what Bernie Sanders said just a few days ago. Take a listen here.
There are concerns amongst members of the new majority in the House that the Social Security Trust Fund will not be fully funded by 2033. They've caused people to think that that means that if you are retiring at that point, you won't get your full payout. That is inaccurate. However, there is an issue with funding, with replenishing the trust fund. You have a different solution for that than the Republicans have.
Right. These guys over in the House, some of them, not all, think that the solution is at a time when so many seniors, we don't talk about this enough. You got people who are trying to make it on Social Security, $15,000, $18,000 a year. You can't. So the solution is not what some Republicans want to cut Social Security. The solution is to lift the cap on taxable income coming into the trust fund. Right now, you have an insane, really absurd situation. Person X makes $10 million a year. Person Y makes $160,000 a year. Both contribute exactly the same amount of money into the Social Security Trust Fund. If you lift that cap, as our legislation proposes, start at $250,000, you will have Social Security solvent for the next 75 years, solves the problem entirely, and raise benefits for lower income seniors. So that's the fight that we are waging. We're going to introduce that legislation this week.
Bernie also said in a press release, at a time when nearly half of older Americans have no retirement savings and almost 50% of our nation's seniors are trying to survive on an income of less than $25,000 a year. Remember, the average salary nowadays is a little bit over $50,000 a year. So this is half of the average salary nowadays. He says, our job is not to cut Social Security, Sanders says in a press release. Our job is to expand Social Security so that every senior in America can retire with dignity that they deserve, and every person with a disability can live with the security they need. Social Security solvency and newly larger checks, the 8.7% increase, which was the fourth largest ever and the largest since 1981, would be offset by raising the cap on earnings taxed for the program. Currently, you only pay Social Security payroll taxes up to $162,000 approximately. It's a slightly odd number in there, and also the year before that it was only like $147,000. They actually raised it a lot because of inflation. While any income above that limit is free from all Social Security taxes. So if you make millions of dollars, you don't pay any Social Security taxes on all that money. Under Sanders' proposal, that cap would be lifted and income over the $250,000 would be subject to the payroll tax. Now, people that don't like this idea, and a lot of Republicans as well, don't like this idea because you probably, depending on the way the bill would actually be enacted if passed, the people that would pay the taxes on that would probably not get any benefits at all for that tax because you would have already reached the maximum amount of Social Security benefits that you could get for that year. There's a maximum amount you can pay into for the year. That's the reason why they have the cap at $162,000 and some change this year, because that's the maximum you can pay into for the year. Okay. So there's no reason to pay any higher because you can't get any more benefits for that year you've paid into the for the max. Okay. So the proposal is that there's been two different proposals, one at 400,000 and one at $250,000. There's a couple different versions of a bill like this in Congress right now. Is that if Bernie Sanders, if they go with his bill, at $250,000, you would then start repaying into Social Security payroll taxes, and you would pay both the employers and the employees payroll tax of 6.2% and 6.2%. So there would be an additional 12.4% tax, which is a lot because when you're at those higher income levels, you're generally in the 30% plus. It depends. You have to look at the different tax levels and your write-offs and stuff like that. But if you're being taxed at 30% or higher, and then you have state taxes, property taxes, and all these different taxes, right? And now you're going to pay an additional 12.4% on top of that. It's very likely that you're paying over 50% tax with this new 12.4% on top of that. So the government would actually be making more money than the person would be. You'd be paying over 50% tax. And the other problem with this is that 12.4%, you're getting no benefit for it. You're paying into Social Security, but not getting any benefit for it. But the people that say this is good for the system is that it would keep Social Security solvent for 75 more years. Social Security has done the math on this. That's a really good thing for everybody. And it brings in so much money because there's so many high income earners that make millions and millions and millions and millions, is that they would be able to pay out an additional $2,400 if Republicans would vote for it. And they only need a few Republicans to vote for it. They would also need Kevin McCarthy, the Speaker of the House, to bring the bill to the floor. So even if there was a few Republicans that would say yes, Kevin McCarthy would have to bring the bill to the floor, or at least in the next 2 years while he's Speaker. So let me know your thoughts on this because there's a lot at stake here because they could raise Social Security benefits and pay out an additional $2,400. So think about this. If you get an extra $2,400 for the year, which is an extra $200 per month, um, that's basically like, so if you made $800 a month with your normal Social Security check, that's like getting three extra checks at $800, $2,400 extra a year. Or if you make $1,200 a month with your normal Social Security check, that's like getting two whole extra Social Security checks of $1,200. So think about that. Or if you make $2,400 a month, that's like getting a whole extra $2,400 check a year for free. Yeah, and if you make less than $250,000, you wouldn't pay any extra taxes. So this is why a lot of people are for it because they're like, yeah, I'm going to get extra benefits. I'm not going to be paying anything, and other people are going to be paying the extra taxes. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Do you think something like this should pass? It would keep Social Security solvent for 75 more years and pay out everybody $2,400 more per year. So actually, this is what Senator Joe Manchin kind of suggested. He suggested raising the taxes on the wealthy for Social Security to keep it solvent. He didn't mention the $2,400 part, but we have a lot of people that are actually for this. So I'll keep you up to date here. If you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on new videos, and click the bell icon after you subscribe. I'll keep you up to date here with new videos that come out here on our YouTube channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here's some videos you should watch next. Here's another really big video I just did about Social Security changes. You should watch this if you haven't yet. Or here is a video about Russian fighter jets that the US just had to send our aircraft to. Really big news about that. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.